home front, and that would be the women and also volunteerism, etc. First thing we need to talk about is this woman. Her name is her fictional name, and she came from a song, was Rosie the Riveter. She was actually based on somebody, and recently the woman who actually posed for this picture passed away. But this is a rallying cry sent to American women during World War II and showing the muscle and saying, we can do it. The idea was that the women were supposed to leave their cult of domesticity in the home and occupy the factory jobs that had been vacated by the men who were off fighting. And they said we could do it. So Rosie the Riveter kind of became the symbol of female empowerment to go and work in factories during World War II. And so, pretty interesting there. Now the next thing we have to do is we have to control how much people are doing. Anytime we have a war, things come out about what you can and cannot do. So at this time the United States will issue what are called rationing stamps. And the rationing stamps went along with what you ate, and every family was given them. They are not welfare stamps, okay? Basically, if you see the pledge, I pay no more than top legal prices. I accept no ration goods without giving up a ration stamp. So if you went to the store and you bought sugar, you had to give up one of your rationing stamps. And when you ran out until they sent you some more, and you can't go and buy any more because that's a federal offense, actually. All right. Now, she mentions here paying no more than top legal prices, correct? The United States got involved in WWII and had an organization called the OPA. OPA stands for Office of Price Administration. And their big fear was inflation, prices go up, people buy less, but business slumps, people lose jobs, etc. So the OPA was a government organization that set top legal prices on commodities such as cars, refrigerators, whatever it was, so that people would buy them. You keep business going and keep everybody going there. Now, another little kind of side thing off there, and it's not there, of the OPA, we have the introduction of the HUV lane, the high occupancy vehicle. I love this cartoon because it makes me laugh. The next time you're driving on, Highway 55 or wherever you are, just imagine an invisible Hitler riding shotgun with you, right? So when you ride alone, you ride with Hitler, car sharing club, and the idea again, conserve gasoline, find a friend, etc. Where we're going. All right. Now, the last little parts here, we have victory bonds. Much like World War I, the U.S. government is going to rely on the general public to buy victory, liberty bonds, and feel like they're a part. Okay. Even though some people had not cashed in their ones from World War I yet. But the idea is to finance the war through the American people buying bonds. It's a difficult concept. Remember, victory gardens, much like World War I, become a big thing. Your victory garden counts more than ever because you're helping to save stuff up. And here's a good one, right? Dig on for victory. I like that one. Now, the next thing we have is volunteerism. Remember, volunteerism is doing something not because you are told to, but rather because you want to, because you feel it is your patriotic duty. Here we have a woman who's going into the nurses corps, and she's saying your country needs you. And if you didn't want to go fight, you could go be in the Red Cross. I mean, there are an infinite number of things you could do to get involved in the war effort during World War II. Now, as World War II is ending, and this is going on to it, in 1944 they introduced what is called the Servicemen's Readjustment Act. That's a mouthful, and so they shortened it down to GI Bill. That's nice. Why GI Bill? Why? What does I know of a GI Joe? GI actually stands for government issue. Everything that you got from the Army had government issue on the inside. So if you said I have my GIs, that means you're in your fatigues, you're in whatever they gave you. And so a GI quickly became synonymous with a person who was fighting. Joe is just a common name, so it's everybody. Any Tom, Dick, or Harry that's fighting for the United States is considered a GI. Okay. Now, the GI Bill, here it is, right? GI Bill of Rights, basically provided for veterans who came back and they were entitled to. Now, the biggest thing, of course, is shall you go to school? And a lot of people today don't have money and can't get a scholarship, but they'll actually go in the military to pay for school. That's still a selling point on the military today. Now as we get to, we'll see how that affects things and how people are willing to go into things. The next little section of notes we have, we're going to end World War II. We're going to talk about the bombs, and we're going to talk about the Cold War beginning. FDR dies. There's a lot of stuff that happens here in 45. So I'll save it for that.